Hi, everyone. Hi, all you lovely creative people. This is June from Open Witch Lane Designs, and this is part two of my IOD Dainty Flourishes mold that I really would like to accomplish. I know that from my live, I said that I would go on Thursday to finish it, and I did work on it Thursday, but it needed a little bit more time. So um, I did some more things. So hopefully I can get this finished right now. So hold on, I'm just getting a message. Okay, getting lots of messages. Hold on. Okay, good. All right. So I'm just going to start working on this, and we'll see what we see where we get to. Okay. So let me turn my camera around, and should have this down pat by now. Okay, there we go. All right. So since I don't know if anybody's going to come into chat, and I got top chat on. I'm sorry, this is just administrative stuff. Here we go, live chat. Okay. So what I've gotten done so far, or rather what you have last seen this as, I had all of these in place, these pieces, and I just finally at the very end of the video put this and this in on. So I made another piece for this. Oops, wait, can't see. Hold on. Can we see this a little better like that? So I made this and this. I made the other side. And then I put these on top with these little things and a little scroll here. I'll explain all of that later. And some little scroll, little pieces right here in the four corners because I wanted to just fill up the area a little bit. Then, because I made a mistake, a big boo-boo, I did not, there was too much space with the smaller pearls on a string that I used and the ones that I really wanted to use, but they didn't go around the whole way. So I had to, there's a glue web there. I try to fill it in with a little bit of glue so that it wouldn't look like such a hole all around. And I just finally painted it with some paint, and I'm going to fix up the painting in a little bit. So let me get started. The first thing I want to do is add these pieces here. Now, where's my mold? Oh, okay, here it is. I decided to mold only of the other pieces. You saw me, and you've seen many people mix two-part epoxy resin. I want to show you some of the pieces that I used, and a lot of YouTubers, and I have told you, people who use the molds, you can cut out pieces of the mold. You don't have to use the same pieces, the whole piece. Well, to add this little loop-de-doops, these two little loop-de-doops, what I did was I just poured the resin in this area right here and in this area right here. So I have two more pieces, just like this. Let the other one go. And I just painted them gold. It's easier to make sure that I get full coverage before I glue them on. For these pieces right here, this, and I have another one somewhere here, right here. It's just this piece right in here. That's all that is. And I did that, I think, on the live, the other live. And I also put these pieces in here well, I have one left just to show you, and that's this one. And what these are just this area right in here. Okay. Now, those little pieces here, 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 and here are just the tip of this. So one of the things I do, and I think I've explained it probably a million times, so sorry, I have dementia, and I'm going to repeat it again. I usually make a casting of all the molds that I have on a new mold. I cast the whole mold, and I play around with the pieces because that's a lot of fun to me, and it also gives me different ideas. As an example, these two big pieces here, one here and one here. They're the largest pieces on the mold. I made them. Hey, Cheryl. I'm so glad you're here. You're surprised live, I know. How are you, sweetie? I just want to show you some things that you can do because I really like experimenting with them, and then I will get back to doing the finishing as much as I can because we may have to let clay dry or paint dry, but you'll see what I did. So I molded 2 sets of those. And the reason why is because, okay, let's go with one set. If your frame is larger, you can really make this quite big. Okay, like say I decided to use these 2 pieces instead of the pieces I had, that would take up let's go to the beginning. I'm just moving it over so I can measure, but that's a little bit more than 17 inches. If you made it neat, probably it's 17 inches across by using the centerpiece. If you didn't use the centerpiece as to cover it up and you just had 2 scrollies, you're at over 18 inches, just with these 2 pieces alone. So even though the mold doesn't look like, it's not 17 inches at all. Sorry about the bings. Oh, lovely. 300 Easter eggs for an egg hunt. That's some big hunt. The mold is about 10 inches wide. By placing your pieces that you mold from it, you can extend how far it can go. Let's see what else. I also, because I had a few leftover pieces and I was having fun, I decided to make a raven or a artistic rendition of a raven just using some of the molds because this is what happens. I like to play. So I played with it. Now I can put this in the center of my frame if I wanted to, but I'm not sure because it might just be too much. I mean, this is already exceedingly decorative. So I might just leave this as a little ornament to hang in my house. But this is things that I love to do. It stirs your creativity. And you can work, I don't know, it's just fun for me. Let's leave it at that. Okay, now using these big molds again, if you do 2 of the same and you're into doing furniture, look at this. Oh, wait, hold on. How did I do this the last time? You can make a nice area above, like a top and below, where you have your knob for your piece of furniture. And look how wide this is. And if you have a larger frame, no one can say that you can't go double and cut off this loop-de-loop if it bothers you and just go double with it. And now you have quite a bit. You have, let's see what you would have if you did it that way. Maybe the same 17 inches. Hold on. Not as much as if you went but it would be 14 inches, but it's 14 inches on one side, and then it would be 14 inches on the other side, and that's 28 inches right there. Hey, Barbara. Okay. No, Barbara, please do me a favor. Don't hang out. If you're not feeling good, it's raining here, it's ugly weather. I just want you to go relax, okay? Please don't feel you have to stay at all. You can always watch it if you're interested again or not or whatever. Your health means more to me than you watching my video, okay, sweetheart? Okay, so there's a million things you can do with these, and it's a lot of fun, but you have to, for me, I need to see the pieces so that I can play with them. You know, you could do it like this if you wanted to do a decorative thing. What I wanted to show you is I use this same mold, this Dainty Flourishes, and then I promise I'll get to finishing this thing on this. Now, this was a frame that I made. Let me put it this way so you can see it. Okay. And I used these two pieces here are the only different ones. Otherwise, everything else on this is the same as the Dainty Flourishes mold. I had made this oval mold totally from scratch because I had a piece of glass that I since broke, which was not a happy day. It was like a bubble glass. It was really pretty, so I wanted a frame. I was going to put something in here with the bubble glass. I had this whole idea, but then I broke it. Typical June, okay? But I still have the frame. A mat here was using fabric, just like I use fabric here, but a little different color. Waxes or paints. I think I use more of this color, or I think I have another wax that I use. It doesn't really matter because the coloring that I use is not the coloring that you have to use at all. I put some one of those like flat back oval gems in all the corners just to use them up, and some other little brass stampings. But this mold has given me, now while they look similar because of this piece right here, they're two totally different. I mean, they're still Gothic looking, but you see what I'm saying? Okay. Love you too, sweetheart. It's still Gothic looking, but it's two totally different frames. And what I could also do with this, which was, I was thinking of it, I'll put this down. I was thinking of it is, I can make this a tray. I don't even have to make this a frame. And if I wanted to, I could use, let me get the right pieces. Where are they? I could use this mold as like a foot. Let me see if I could show it to you. Okay, you can put, I can glue it here. Well, this one was made, so I'd have to glue it here. Take another one and glue that here. Now I'd be cutting off and then put a mold on top of this, and I would have feet for a tray. So there's a lot that I can do with this. Well, there's two things I can do. I could make it a frame, keep it as a frame, make it a tray. But there was an awful lot that I did with just this. Oh, great. I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad you got the package today, Barbara. That was quick. It wasn't supposed to arrive until Monday. I'm so happy. I'm glad. Barbara won, in case anybody who watches this, Barbara won the that piece that was my spring giveaway. And I sent it out the next day, and she got it already today. I love it. I love that you got it. Good. So obviously, I think I've talked it enough to death with all of these things that you can really use your molds in a lot of different ways. You buy one or two, and you either get resin or clay or whatever you feel like working with. Although I am recommending now that anytime you use resin, you get a mask just to be on the safe side. That's my recommendation. Yeah, it was fast, Barbara. It wasn't supposed to be for another 2 days. I guess they wanted to get it through with all the storms. Okay, so let's get started. Let's finish this finally. I'll shut up. I've been using every single glue, lots of different glues here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some fabric tack, because for fabric tack has been drying a lot faster. And for me to finish this piece to look like this piece, I need to move things out of my way, which could help. Okay. For me to finish this piece to look like this piece, I have to glue these little two pieces in right over here. So that's what I'm going to do. Another thing about using resin molds that I didn't talk about that much when I was live is sometimes when you pour them, they have best described as like a lip. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. There's like a ridge on the edge, around the edge. And it's really hard if you're not using a dimensional glue to glue these down. So a lot of times I will just take them and sand them down a little bit. And that serves two purposes: to take off the ridge and also to make it not so shiny. So there's more grip for the glue to hold on to whatever you're gluing it to. Okay. And wait, am I doing this right? Of course I'm not doing this right. I'm doing it upside down, so there we go. Now I'm doing it right. Gee, didn't look like it. It didn't look like this. Got it. Okay. Gluing that down. All right. Now, let's see what else I can glue down while we wait for that to dry a little bit. This piece, I left it off. Just a little piece, like I said. And I'm going to glue this down now. Okay. I always get confused. It's this way. Okay. Fabric tack is like hot glue. It leaves webs. Okay, so that goes there. So I'm pretty much covered by even adding these little pieces where I showed you from the mold. I've covered my entire, oh no, it should go like more like that. Okay. All right. I've pretty much covered the entire Dollar Tree frame. And if you're on for the first time and you didn't watch part one, because that was 2 hours in a live, this is a Dollar Tree or a Michael's. I think I can flip it. The glue will hold, I hope. It's a Dollar Tree or a Michael's diploma frame that I took out the glass. I'm going to use it for another project. I flipped it, and the front was now going to be the back. I covered this back piece with this lace fabric with Mod Podge. Then I painted it all. The lace was black, but the thing I glued it to was brown. So I painted it all, and then I just put wax over it. This was a mat that I made. I cut out by myself, and I used some other little molds. But that was what took the explanation of that was what took over the last live stream. Have you heard of someone using clear resin as a glue? Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I use, Barbara, after I glued these two pieces together, because they're individual pieces, this and this piece, I glued them together with a little bit of Gorilla Crazy super glue. I then took the resin, the one that you use the blue light for, or the black light, whatever it's called, and I put a little of the resin in there and then black lighted it, so it gives it more stability for these two to glue together. And thank you. Okay, now when you're doing something like this, I think my personal opinion is you need the 2-part epoxy resin, because you need some of these pieces to be really hard. And then you also need something else, a softer thing, and I'll show you why. And let me just show it to you instead of yakking about it so you can see it. Let me move this over. There's not a lot of room on this table after a while. Things get everybody goes someplace. I'm using Jovi air dry clay. I keep it in a plastic bag with a very wet paper towel. Yep, yeah. Okay, I think that's enough. I fold it over. I put it in the bag. And then I just put the wet towel there. The only thing with that, and then I try to get as much air out. I'm not gonna, I have to put whatever's left over, but that's basically how I keep it a little bit neater. I do try to be neat with this type of stuff. Okay, little cornstarch. The good thing about it is it really holds it, but you have to have access to the full two parts that you want to use to glue together, because the light has to go and shine on all those pieces. So for a lot of this, like here, there would be no way that I could get the light underneath it. But on this piece, it was easy because I poured it and put the light on. So in doing that, doing the resin here, you didn't have to do it because I knew I was going to put another piece on top of it. I just felt like doing it just to make it a little bit more sturdy. Bing. There's absolutely no room on my table right now. Okay. You've seen me do this, and probably every other YouTuber 1,000 times. Gets a little, when I'm doing it, the one thing about the moles is it does get repetitive after a while. When you have to do them, you do get tired of doing it. When I made my oak king, I was like, I can't do another oak leaf. It was like, the reason why it took me so long to do all his hair was because I had to mold each and every one of those individually, and I was pretty much it's not exhausting. It's just, I don't know, boring, repetitive. So I had to do it in a few sessions, because besides that, you need to when I was using paper clay for that, you need to let it dry a little bit before you keep putting layer on layer on layer on, because you have to make sure that it's holding whatever curl that you put in. And I could have used resin, but that would have been an awful lot of resin. And of the two, paper clay is a little bit less expensive, I think, than resin. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Oh, it's got other pieces of resin in there. I didn't even notice that. Okay. All right. That tip came a little bit yucky, but that's all right. I've been using this Quick and Thick. Not sure I like it, but we're going to use it because I bought it. Their wood glue, I'll show you in a sec. Their wood glue is really good, but it's really very watery, and it runs. And that was good for the Oak King, because I could pour it in the top and hope that it got down into all the crevices through the leaves. You gotta have some kind of fun when you're being repetitive. That's okay. Now where's my piece that I need? This is the other thing, by having such a mess on your thing, you can't find any of the pieces. I just had it. Where did I put it? Oh, come on. Can't put this down until I find the piece I need. It's not on here. Oh, there it is. It's underneath. That's the piece I need. Okay. This can go on the side for a few seconds. I'll put it away. All right. So what I do with this is I put it down on top. Try to line it up as best I can. I got to move it around a little bit. You can all see it. Okay, now we got to fix that. All right. This is the right. No, it's got to go up a little bit more. Okay. This is going to fall down. Stay there. And then I pinch it. Okay, put this with the rest. And then I take this piece, and this is why I can't use resin for this. I press it in. Okay. Now let's get this out of. I'll fix that in a second, but let's just let the glue have a little few minutes to harden. It says it's quick and thick, but I'm not too sure how quick it really is. But whatever. We have it now. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's air. Sorry, I know I'm wasting time, but we just want to get this put together, right? And put it over there, so it's off the one thing less here. Okay. And let's get what I need. Okay. Bing, bang. All righty. Now I just want to pull it back up and clean some of this stuff out. Okay. Oh, that piece. Oh, that was a way to go. Oh, here it is. Cute. I should just redo it, but I'm not. I don't feel like redoing it right now. Just put that right there because there is a little piece right there. Okay. Shove that back in. And now that will dry. Fix these that I messed up when I molded it. Okay. And now the whole thing, as far as construction, is done. I showed you all how to do it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my gesso, my black gesso, clean out my poor paintbrush. Look at it. But I love this paintbrush. It works lovely. Softly paint over this. Now I'm going to have to paint this. This is the one I have to remember that I can't really put the gold leaf on just yet. I'm going to have to paint this a few times because it's going to shrink and more white spots. I have never once got it where I got all the white spots at the first time. Never. And sometimes even the second time, sad to say. But that's okay. That's done. All right. Now, I want to, so I showed you about the sanding. I showed you about all the little pieces. Okay, I want to add, get the glue out of the way. I want to add, this is got a few colors of gold on it. It has this Luminaire Sunset Gold. The original base coat I put down was Deco Art Antique Bronze. And then I'm using the Pent Art Wax Paste Gold Metallic. And when I painted this area, all these beads that I put in glue, I didn't put any of this on because it was easier to paint them with paint and then put this on because it would have been harder to, I felt, to do it that way. I'm just putting a little of this on here because those just had the Deco Art Bronze. A lot of this is going to be going back and forth. We're trying to get, you know, painting one, then painting back, and trying to make it as even as possible. But and I know that this area with this beading doesn't look as good as I wanted to, but you know what? It's just something that happened because I thought I had enough beads. And looking back on it, I would have, because I didn't need to put the beads under these pieces, but c'est la vie. It's what happened. We'll live with it. And it's not going to make me dislike the piece at all. Now, okay, leave that there. I'm finding that the gold is a little bright. So I'm going to use this Folk Art Home Decor Antique Wax to just put some brown in there. Where's my little paint? That's the other paintbrush. Get that in the water. I don't know if the wax will come off that easily, but we'll figure that out in a bit. Okay. What I usually do with this is I put a little in my cap and then get some water in there. Okay. This is sort of like I use it sort of like a raw umber. I used to use raw umber acrylic paint to do a lot of this. But now that I found this Deco Wax, I use this a lot more. And sometimes, you know, seriously, sometimes I go back, I go forward, I go back, I go forward. It's just the way, I mean, I'm not the neatest crafter in the world. So if I go back and forth a few times, that's okay. Hold on, I don't know if I need more. And then I'm just going to take some of it off. And if I want some more high spots, I'll just go back and put my antique wax paint on it. But I like the subdued color of this. Okay. So now that's subdued the color quite a bit, so it isn't so brassy. I mean, not so brassy, but I remember having a picture frame that was really old, and it was, you know, a little brownish, the colors. Okay. I'm just trying to get it off the high spots. But I think it unifies the whole. It gives more sort of, not a richness, that's what I'm trying to say, a richness to it. And then last but not least, and I can play, and I will be playing around with this because I can't go over here anyway, but trying to get it off the black as much as possible. But I don't mind if it melts a little bit. I think it sort of, you know, brings it together somewhat. And then you just take the gold paste, and this is the easiest part. Let me go over here and show you because I already, oh, no, there's nothing in there. I thought I just knocked over some water. And you just go over it with the gold paste, the gold wax. I'm sorry, it's not gold wax, paste, it's wax. And this brings out all the definition of all those beautiful molds that you just made. And all the time you spent making the molds. Now you can go over that. You could use paint and dry brush it. This is the one that's wet. This one's wet. Okay, let's get this. And if I think this is too gold, I'll put the brown wax on this also, and that'll really unify it because this had the brown wax on it. Now this has it, and I can do it to this too. And if you know what the best part of it is, if I don't like what's coming out, I can always repaint it again. So it's not like anything here is written in stone. And I think the most important issue, the most important thing, well, yeah, things, I don't know how else to say it, is that one, you get to play. And as an adult, you know, I'm not sports minded, so this is my play. And two, you can, the two things I wanted, yes, that I wanted to come out of these two videos is you get to play for me as an adult. And the other thing is that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You just utilize your molds in different ways. Now, of course, I have a lot of these products already on hand. So I don't want to go too close to that because that's still pretty darn wet. But you get to use your molds, one mold, and you got to do, now I'm probably going to put that antique wax on this, but I'm also going to hit some of this part that I put the brown antique wax on, and I'm going to hit it with a little of this gold just to bring more of this gold into this because, you know, that dulled it down a little. And then and this is it. So I go back and forth a few times. If I add too much, again, I can paint over it, just gesso over it. Might have you put too much over there, so I'll come back when I'm doing, because I'm going to wait for this to dry before I touch this again. See what I want to touch up, see what I want to add, and that's it. So I don't know how long I've been on, but that was all I wanted to show you. I may make this into a tray. I've not decided. I haven't decided yet, but the thing is, I have the mold. Oh, let's see. I might put some, let's try putting a little of the brown on this gold that I already, and see what it looks like. Might like it. Add a little water to this. Tone it down a little bit and make it all look the same. Oh, I like that. I like the toning down a little bit. So I have a lot of the products like the waxes, the paints, the brushes, the glues. So it's not like it's really cheap, but if you already have done, you know, if you're already into art and you have some of these things already, in buying a mold or two, you can utilize all your other stuff with it. And this is not just, okay, I've used it for frames. You could use it for this can that I showed the other day that I still haven't done anything else. Oh, something's in there. You know, this can that I showed that I haven't done anything else because I've been busy working on this and other things, you know, around the house and this and that. But you can use these molds that you get to decorate furniture. If you make, I know Barbara makes, and I always forget what they're called. Those albums, picture albums. You could put these on the top of on the covers of it. Sorry, Barbara, I always forget what they're called. And you could use your molds, if you get the right molds, to put decorative decorations. The sky's the limit. You could do Christmas, like take the Christmas ornaments or Easter ornaments and added baskets, cans, watering cans. I've seen, if you go on YouTube, you will see everything decorated with molds. I've seen one woman, fascinates me. She's not in the United States, but she takes these plain glass jars and makes these beautiful containers out of the glass jars. I'm going to try to do one. I'm not going to do a video on that. That'll be a personal video because it's just for me. But she just takes a couple of molds and makes mini albums. Thank you, Barbara. Oh, sorry. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, you could use this for the covers of mini albums if you wanted to outline things. What I was saying before about, let's see, I got the wrong, yeah. You could outline the title if you want, or not even. You can put things like this. Now these are thick, so it's hard to go inside, but the covers can be used with these. And to me, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of exploration, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So that's it. That is it. Oh, I wanted to gold leaf him a little bit, my little raven here. I know, Barbara, I'm always forgetting what they're called. And he might be my first. Yeah, I screwed up here. See, it's not even, but you know what? That's okay too, because I can make another one. It's no sweat. But this was just my fun thing to explore, to do. And I had fun doing it while I was sitting here waiting for things to dry. I should have pulled this down a little bit more. I don't know if I can maneuver it at this point. Maybe I can. No, it's glued pretty good finally. Okay. That's all right. So, I mean, IOD and mold people don't need me to recommend things taken. They have, I'm sure they have plenty of people who buy them and plenty of people that use them. But I have a lot of fun, so I wanted to share the fun with everybody. Now, let's see. I just want to do one more thing and then I'm gone. This is alcohol, 99% isopher, whatever that one is. See if I can get, because I had the gold wax on this. Let's see if it removes it, because I really don't want to use the acetone because I'm trying to stay away from chemicals if I don't have my mask on that are really bad. Okay, I cleaned it up pretty good. Okay, so this is it, semi-finished. I could be making it into a tray. I'll see what I'm going to do. And you know what? There's sometimes where maybe this doesn't even need something inside of it. Now, maybe I could put a rose stem like I did on Barbara's thing that she got. Just put a rose, because this is rose lace, as a matter of fact, or not. Or for Halloween, I can do the outline of a skull or a silhouette picture and hang this up like this, or I can use it as a tray. I really don't know, but I had a lot of fun creating it, and I'm really glad that I did. So I hope to see you. Thank you, Barbara. I know and black and gold is not really your colors. So I really thank you for saying that. So that's it. Let me move over. I'm done. Let me get to that and mirror. Okay. And get chat up just until I go. So that's it. Who's ever here? That's the finishing of the mold that I promised that I would do. I have a little bit more work on it. have to make decisions of what I want to use it for. And if I can always change my mind and make it a tray if I wanted to. It's no sweat. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. No, I only have to, I already have all the pieces, so I don't even have to mold them, but I would have to mold something because I would want something where these two meet at the corners. And I know this is wrong. Can I have, when these two meet at the corners, I would want to put a mold over that. So I really only have to mold 4 more things because I have all the legs here, I think. Who knows? I can figure that out later. But okay, thank you for joining me. And as always, thanks to Barbara, thanks to Cheryl for coming in, and any Secret Santas. As always, have fun creating beauty. Love you all. Good night. And got to figure out how to do this. Okay.